Hello everyone, this is a tutorial for converting a vanilla head preset to a high poly head preset. I came across this in a PDF format a long time ago, or maybe not a long time ago, probably a week ago, but I could not for the life of me figure out where I saved it or where I found it from. I think I found it in a Discord server, but I don't know which one. Um, so yeah, this is definitely not entirely my doing or my idea of how to do this, but it just most of it is from memory, so it may have been the same, may have been different, not sure. But all I remember is it was definitely for LE, not for SSC. So let's just get started. There are four applications that you would need. The main application you'd need is SSC NIF Optimizer. You can find this on the Nexus for Special Edition. And the whole point of this is to convert between SSC and LE meshes, and you'll see why we would need to even go to LE for this. The other thing you would need is Body Slide and Output Studio. You probably have this installed if you're in this Discord server. A BSA extractor tool from the Nexus, or if you have MO2, you can actually extract BSAs from here. Actually, I don't think you'd even need this because I'll probably attach the vanilla head meshes for SE and LLE with this tutorial, so ignore this. You definitely also need NIF merge, but keep in mind that this is from LE. It only works on LE meshes, and the workaround here is to use SSC NIF Optimizer to swap between LE and SSC. So, and you also definitely need race menu because ECE doesn't allow you to export heads, and I don't think it'll ever support that functionality. So you definitely need race menu and a later version of race menu because the older versions don't allow you to export heads. So let's get into game and export the head. So you want to go into console, type out show race menu, go into the sculpt tab, ignore this weird FOV. Actually, let's just move back to FOV 70. It's ultra wide and I have to deal with this all the time. So what you want to do is, you see over here it says F5 is export head. You want to export your head, and you want to export this. I'm just gonna say video test, whatever, and export it, and you're done. So we can close the game, figure out where we actually saved it. So I'm almost certain that it's in my override folder if we're using MO2. So let's open that up, and it'll be under SKC, plugins, chargen, and you can see that you have both your face tint or the texture, and you have your head NIF. So yeah, let's open up Output Studio, which you can get to through Body Slide, and import this. So what we're trying to do here is, we know that our preset is built on the vanilla head mesh, so we can actually use we know that our preset is actually just a deformation of the vanilla head. So what we can try to do is export that as a slider data and then import it back in onto the vanilla head mesh. And we can use Output Studio's conform feature to actually conform our high poly head using the low poly head. So let's import this file in our chargen. So let's go into our override folder. Where's it? SKC, plugins, chargen, and video test. Yeah, it's an abomination, but you can clearly see that's the head. So you want to essentially remove everything other than the head, and you'll see why. So that's our head. You can actually see how low poly it is. You don't notice it too much in game, but when you see it out here, it definitely is really low poly. So what you want to do is right click, you want to go to, where is it? Export as OBJ. You want to save this somewhere that you can access pretty easily. So I'm just gonna save it in, let's say, head. I'm gonna put tutorial. Go. And yeah, let's just rename this to low poly. OBJ. Done. You want to Control W to unload all the files. Wow, that's loud. There you go. The other thing you want to do now is to import your two vanilla heads, so one from LE and one from SSE. So importing the one from, actually first I need to figure out where I actually put my LE file, so give me a second. Okay, I found it. So let's import the vanilla head from Skyrim Special Edition. I have it saved under test glossy head or something like that. Yeah, there you go. There it is. This is from Special Edition, and what you also want to do is to import your head from the high poly head. So in my case, I'm using the VectorPlexus one. This should be somewhere at the top. There it is. So under meshes, KL, high poly head, female head.nif. There it is. So if we show wireframe with W, you can actually see the difference between this head, which is the Special Edition vanilla head, and this, which is the high poly head. So definitely, clearly high poly. So you want to set your vanilla head to reference. So right click, you can hit set reference. Now what you want to do is you want to make a new slider, and since we know that the preset is just deformation of this, we can actually edit the slider and then import slider data from OBJ. And you now need to navigate to where you saved your slider. In my case it's here, low poly. You'll see that, wow, it looks exactly like our preset. You can enable textures with T, by the way. So yeah, looks like your character. So if we bring this back down, you'll see how it deforms from the vanilla head to preset, right? So you want to bring this back down to 0, and then you want to conform your new head using that head, or using our vanilla head. So if you hit conform all, leave the settings default, you can hide the vanilla head. Here's your high poly head. You'll now see your high poly head moves to where your face preset looks like. So you now want to, before doing anything, set base shape. This will clear the slider. There you go. You can delete your original head. So this is your high poly head now. And the whole so something you need to understand with this method is that you're interpolating data. So previously there used to be a mesh element here and a mesh element here, or a vertex here and a vertex here. There was no data here, and so what's happened here is this is just an interpolation or an average between those 2 points. So sometimes the averages don't work out and you get really jarring angles. So what you want to do is you want to smooth it out with this brush. It says smooth an area of mesh. You definitely don't want to brush that big. Bring it down, bring the strength down as well, and essentially look through in different angles. So I can see that the chin is kind of angled, so just clear some of those vertices. Probably have to increase the strength there. Definitely around the chin. Actually, I'm just going to increase the strength a bit more. And the size. Yep, there you go. Smooth that part out, smooth this as well. I can see there's like a tiny angle up here, so I'm gonna reduce the size, smooth that area out, smooth this area out. There you go. You can actually see it's being smoothed out. The lips are another region where there might be like some weird angles. So I see one right there. I'm just gonna smooth that out slightly. I see one over there. Anyways, this is taking too long, but generally that's what you would do. You'd essentially make all your fine-tune adjustments here before importing it back into race menu. So there it is. Now what you want to do is you want to export this as a NIF. So export to NIF, and I would set this as probably high polyhead. .nif. Done. So now that this is done, I think we are pretty much done with Outfit Studio. I'm just going to leave this open, but I don't think you would need it anymore. You now want to launch your NIF merge tool. Actually, no, you want to go into your SSC NIF optimizer. So now we're ready to use NIF merge, however it only accepts LE meshes. So you would want to convert your exported head or your high poly head conversion to LE. So my LE head is under documents. Where was it? Under head, I think. Yeah, head. Tutorial. This piece. So I'm just gonna grab that, throw that here. Yep, this is the one. Click or select head parts only. Be sure to click that, and be sure to hit LE because you want to backport it to LE. Hit optimize. You'd see that your date modified is now the current time. So this has been backported successfully. So let's launch NIF merge. Actually, no, not yet. Something else you would probably want to grab is the chargen, which is the video test. I'm just going to make a copy, throw that here as well, and I'm going to essentially process that one as well. There you go. This is also LE now. So you want to open up NIF merge. Use your NIF merge tool. Let's grab the source NPC face model as your high poly head. Drag and drop. Your preset is going to go into the right. You'll get this error, don't worry about it. In type, what you want to do is you want to hit face, and in here it already recognizes it as face, but for some custom races you wouldn't have that option. So you want to hit face over there, and you want to hit source as female head too. You want to merge child nodes, and you want to merge the target. Oh, sorry, gotta click that. Merge the target. That's so loud. Done. So that's done. You're now your preset has the high poly head essentially. So what you can do now is we can convert this back into SSE. So we have the same location. All you want to do is convert to SSE, optimize it. Done. And you can see the time is the current time. Move this back here, replace it, and you should be done. Now I'm gonna show you how to launch it in game in a bit, but I just want to do an optional piece right now, and this is for custom races. So the whole way any kind of high poly head works is it looks for the head and the try files, but for custom races they have their own location, not the vanilla location. So I'm just going to show you how to do it. In my case, I'm going to do it for the dry name mod that I ported. So you want to open up SSE edit. Again, this is completely optional. For vanilla heads you do not want to worry about this, but if you have a custom race, this is what you want to do. So let's open up the Skyrim, and you want to open up the high poly mesh mod. Here you go. Okay, so what you want to do here is you want to look for the head part that corresponds to a female head. So head node, this is the one that you want to look at, and you want to essentially copy the file model name into, so we have this, and you also have the head part for whatever custom race. So in my case these would be your head parts. So in this case you see how these are pointing to vanilla locations. In this case, what you want to do is you want to change that to, so in some custom races it would be a custom location here. They wouldn't be vanilla locations. So you want to change this. So the model, the race morph, the try, and the chargen morph, all of these should come from, or copy, you should all copy the locations from the high poly mesh mod. So over here, copy these, throw them in here. That's it, and save. So that's the optional piece for custom races, but there's that. So let's load up in game and I'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, we're back. So let's go into show race menu again. Okay, clear that. Okay, so first things first, what you want to do is to change your head nif. So you can already tell this is low poly just by looking at around this location. So let's go to your body, actually your head, and change your face part. So it'll actually tell. So this as female head nord. So what you want to do is to switch to your high poly head. That one. So yes, it looks like a complete abomination, but that's fine. You can change that. So let's get into sculpt. So you can definitely tell that it is in fact high poly. Let's undo that. Did that by mistake. So let's clear the hair for now. So I think it's this one. There it is. And we are going to import a preset. So if you've ever imported a preset, or sorry, head nif, you'd know that you'd get a seam around this area. So to counteract that, you would have to mask this area. So get into the mask add and start masking the neck. I hate this interface, by the way. It rotates so unnaturally and I just can't get over it. I think I'm missing points there. I think it looks okay. Cool. Now that that's masked out, what you can do is hit F9 to import your head. What did I name this? I think I named this video. What did I name this? Yeah, there it is, video test. So hit that, hit E. What do you know? That's your high poly head. Works fine, no seams. Something you might notice when you get into your sliders and you start messing around, specifically with brows, is that if you change your brow type here, let me find some that looks kind of weird. There it is. You see how it kind of clips right through? What you want to do for that is get into your brows over here, toggle editability over there, remove the editability on your head, and you probably also want to hide your hair. There it is. And you want to get into inflate, deflate tools. So it's your inflate tool, start inflating this area. But yeah, you get the idea. You can start fixing that stuff over there. Anyways, yeah, this is the end of the tutorial. I hope you learned something. Cheers.